What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I am going to be discussing UFC fighters in every division who do and then don't deserve the hate that they get. Now there's some fighters who receive a lot of hate. Some of it's undeserved, some of it's very deserved, some of it's it varies, you know. Sometimes they do shit that's kind of easy to hate them, and then sometimes they're just chill. But for the most part, these fighters do receive hate. UFC is a sport I think sports in general, with fans that are just going to dish out hate to anyone. But some of these guys are more hated than others, some of them slightly less. And I'll be giving my opinion on guys who, come on guys, let's just chill, like, what's this guy done wrong, like, free up my boy. And then the other ones where it's like, nah, fuck this guy, he's a fucking enemy of the state, we hate him. So yeah, that's going to be this video. We got 16 fighters all up, 2 per division, one for does deserve, one for doesn't deserve. And yeah, you guys let me know if you agree in the comments. But other than that, let's get into the video, starting off with the flyweight division. Flyweight division, Alejandro Panto, I work so hard for these, you guys. It's good fighters, you know. Why, guys, don't leave, please. Are you proud of me now? This guy's chill. I don't know why people hate my guy Pantoja, bro. I've been a long time fan of Pantoja. I picked him to beat Moreno in the trilogy when they fought at UFC 290. I think a lot of people hated him because they just, for some reason, they love Moreno, which is fair enough. People liked Moreno, so for some reason the crowd was upset with the decision, even though it was a clear win for Pantoja. Then, I think people forget, man, Pantoja's, like, pre-title run was sick. Like, this dude was running he was, like, the grappling equivalent of, like, pre-title Izzy. Like, he was just fucking finishing everyone, I swear. Apart from, like, losing to fucking Figgy and Askarov, I guess. But, like, this dude subbed Royval, dominated Moreno the second time they fought in the UFC. He was fucking beating all these guys. Schnell, you know, the well-known Iron Chin Matt Schnell. But bum rushed Alex Perez and subbed him in a minute and a half. Like, this dude's sick, right? And now people are hating because he's gone to a couple decisions. Like, God forbid you win a fight by 49-46 clear decision. Obviously, the Usyk fight was a bit closer, but I feel like this guy's been, like, just receiving hate since the Moreno fight, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm overblowing it. I don't think, like, he's, like, the most hated guy on the roster by any means. But I don't know what the hate is for this guy. Like, everyone's, like, preying on his downfall. Like, Asakura, save us. Like, this dude's, like, fucking, I don't know, who's some shit champion? Like, fucking Juliana Pena or something. Like, I don't know. Some boring cunt. Like, he's not that boring. He's not even boring. Like, the Usyk fight was relatively fun. That was a high-level fight. No parts of that were, like, extremely boring. Like, God forbid you hold some fucking 20 seconds of cage control against defense. Like, for the most part, he was working in that fight. Moreno fight was one of the best fights of the year. And the Royval fight was good for the first couple rounds until he kind of realized, yeah, I can just beat this dude easily. And again, like, Royval should have just fucking won. Like, to be honest, like, Royval should have stuffed takedowns. But, like, Lucas Tracy's a long-time hater of Pantoja, bro. I swear. He said that, like, Pantoja's, like, the most boring grappler ever. He's just, like, a back control, like a ground half guard camp merchant, even though he works positions and actually goes for shit. So Pantoja, I think he's actually, like, I'm not going to call him a fucking Yuri Prohaska of the flyweight division, but I feel like this dude's fun, and I feel like he's actually a good champion and also deserves way more respect on the pound for pound list. This guy's like number 11 or something. Like, he should be like top, like, 6 or something, in my opinion, based off, like, championship work and what he's done. And also, this dude has, like, 10 fucking wins over, like, top 15 fighters, bro. It's nuts. So give respect to my guy Pantoja. Anyway, let's move on, though, to someone else in the flyweight division who does deserve the hate. Ahmed Mokaev. This dude is I know he's not signed with the UFC right now, but I couldn't really think of anyone else. This guy actually is boring. Like, when people call Pantoja boring, no. This guy's boring. If Pantoja was fighting like Mokaev, I would get it. I would understand the complaints. But Mokaev has literally never fucking, like, what's this guy done? He's fluky comeback submissioned over fucking Tim Elliott and fucking Jafel Filo and fucking, I don't know, Charles Johnson or some shit. Like, what's this guy doing? He's not subbing shit. Like, he's not going out there and dominating anyone. Fucking, he's posting photos of his toilet bowl after he won a close decision against Alex Perez, saying, guys, brother, I was sick. I could not fight at my best opportunity. And then, but Manel Cap, let's take photo for our Muslim brothers. And then just fucking sucker punches him. Like, what? This guy's a dirtbag. This guy's a dirtbag, man. As Poirier would say. But yeah, Mokaev, bro, fuck this guy. Like, he deserves hate. He's trying to get sympathy to be like, I'm young, I made a mistake, guys. Like, no, you're just a dickhead, and you're boring. So, yeah, The way this guy handled the Cap fight week and all that shit, I'm all for shit talk, but you can't sucker punch someone after. If you say it's on site and they agree it's on site and you see them and charge at them, fair game. But you tried to fucking get him for a photo for your Muslim brothers and then sucker punched him. Like, fuck you. He's fighting some random fucking South African in December. I hope he loses, but he's probably not going. He'll be back in the UFC, and I hope I hope Pantoja smokes this guy. Because I want there to be a fight where Pantoja's actually going in as the person who the fans actually want to win. Because I feel like his last couple fights, there's been a big push for the other guy. Or not like a major push, because there really aren't that many fan favorites at flyweight, but like there was the whole Urseg meme going around, which I like Urseg as well, but like Moreno as well. Like it feels like Pantoja just hasn't had that much support. So if he fights Makaev, I think the fan base will be unanimously around supporting Pantoja, except for the Hamdullahs. They'll be rooting for Makaev. But alhamdulillah, he humps his leg for 5 more rounds, but this is excellent. Anyway, let's move on though to the bantamweight division. Hear me out here, Merab. I'm not saying I like Merab that much, right? But in terms of everyone else at flyweight, I just couldn't think of someone who's receiving a bunch of hate at flyweight who doesn't deserve it. Like, the other guy I'll talk about who does deserve the hate, I'll mention his name in a second, but Merab, I think he does deserve criticism for the Umar. You could call it ducking. I think it's reasonable at this stage to call it ducking. Like he came out with this video saying all this stuff, which, like, yes, these would all be excellent points if you were calling for a fight with someone you hadn't already beat, or if it was Figgy and you hadn't beat him, or if you hadn't fought Jan. If you had not fought Jan and 50-45'd him, absolutely he would deserve the shot more than Umar Nurmagomedov, because he's beat Corey Sandhagen as well, plus he's beat Song Yadong, plus he's beaten Davison Figueiredo. But you fucking 50-45'd him, like, fight new content. Even like when this guy's saying, I won't be able to fight Umar before March, but then saying, I want to fight with Piotr Jan March 1st, but like when Ramadan starts. I respect the obnoxious level. He said he would fight O'Malley in November, but he couldn't fight Umar until March. Sorry, no, he wanted to fight Umar in March because March is Ramadan. He said he couldn't fight him before March. So yeah, he's like, brother, let me fight this guy March, brother. This is good timeline for me. But Piotr Jan, we go January. Like, what's this guy doing? But so I do appreciate that is kind of retarded. But in terms of, like, I'm talking more before he won the belt. Like, I actually liked this guy before he won, and I actually supported him when he beat O'Malley. I picked him to lose. I picked O'Malley to win that fight, but I wanted Merab to win. Not because he's more entertaining than O'Malley, but sometimes entertainment isn't everything. Like, O'Malley's still going to be entertaining regardless. And I just respect Merab going on a fucking 11-fight win streak to the belt compared to O'Malley, who got gifted a fucking top 5 opponent. Very similar to how Umar just got gifted Corey Sandhagen and won, and then bang, title shot. But regardless, I actually liked Merab before he won the belt. I thought he got way too much hate for beating Peter Yan, Guru. Hall of Fame fucking crash out there. That was quite amusing, but still, like, bro, he's fighting and he's not, like, the Aldo fight, yes, was boring. The Yarn fight was not boring. Go back and rewatch it. It's actually an engaging fight to watch. I'm not saying it's a fucking fight of the year, but, like, it was not boring. It was a fun fight to watch. And then the Cejudo fight was fun as well. So, I don't know what this guy's saying. Like, a lot of people acting like this dude's the most boring fighter on the roster. He pushes the pace, and yes, he might be on EPO, but the fact that he fails that many takedowns does actually mean there is something going on at all times. Like, there's no... And Merab, as much as you say, oh, knees the thigh, he did that against Aldo, did it a bit against O'Malley, but, like, most of the time, he shoots takedowns, fails them, and then just shoots again. So there's not that much room of, like, oh, just up against the fence doing nothing. Like, he's always kind of going forward, spamming his fucking combinations, spamming X on his controller for the whole fight. So it's actually not that boring to watch. Like, I'm not saying I would fucking pick Merab as, like, a top 5 fighter if I can only watch these 5 fighters ever fight again. But, like, people are acting like this dude's just fucking like, you can't watch him. Like, every one of his fights is fucking Esparza versus Namajunas. Like, he's not that boring, and yes, he's probably ducking, but again, I could have found someone better, but I just couldn't think of anyone at bantamweight who receives hate that I thought doesn't deserve the hate. Like, Yarn, no. Figgy, no. Sandhagen, like, none of these guys really get that much hate. Cejudo, he deserves it. He's a dickhead. Like, Cheeto, he deserves hate in my opinion because he's a fucking chin merchant. So Merab, I guess he's the pick here. I mean, you could go with fucking, I don't know, Peyton Talbot or some shit and I could just glaze him, but I'll pass. So anyway, let's move on though to another bantamweight who does deserve the hate. Mario Bautista, this dude is Hitler. I don't know if I want to say that because that would imply that like he was good. No, it was 300,000, not 6 million. Moving on, Mario Bautista, he is a fucking enemy of the state. I know he did the exact same thing to Aldo that Merab did, but fuck you still. You're worse. Because afterwards you went out, like Merab was a bit of a tard, but like at least Merab did other shit. But like this dude, fucking robbery decision against the Damon Blackshear, who was turning around after a week's notice and deserved to actually get credit with that win and making history from winning 2 fights in a week. And then he won that robbery, had a decent fight against Simone. I was like, okay, I could get behind this guy. And then you go out there and do that to Aldo. Fuck you, you bum. Fight Alex Pereira. Anyway, let's move on though to the featherweight division. Featherweight division, Aljamain Sterling. Free up my guy Aljo, he ain't done nothing wrong. I mean, yes, I previously have disliked this guy and shed on him, but that's going to be the same as every fucking fighter here. I'm going to just act like I'm going to do the Ariel Helwani and act like I've never talked shit about these people. Like, what do you mean? I can't do the Ariel impression. I got to get Guru on the voice chat. But no, like I have talked shit about Aljo before. Yes, he did take the DQ like a bitch against Jan, but he's actually not that bad. And like people were like booing this dude and shit against O'Malley. People booed this guy once he lost to O'Malley and he was talking on the mic. Like, bro, he ain't that fucking bad. People will boo Aljo and cheer Jones in the same fucking sentence. Like, bro, fuck off. So Aljo, he ain't done nothing wrong. Yes, he's not the most entertaining fighter, but he's a hard-working guy. I respect the effort. And again, featherweight, who receives undeserved hate at featherweight? Like, I don't know, Bryce Mitchell? Like, I don't fucking know, Cron Gracie? No. Like, there's not that many people, because in my opinion, Ortega deserves hate, even though not many people hate him, but I do. But, yeah, Aljo, free up my guy, he ain't done nothing wrong. Anyway, let's move on to someone who does deserve the hate at featherweight. Movza Evloev, brother, I tell you, she was 17, it's okay, brother, it's culture. Fuck you. Movza. People be like, how are you going to call him a pedophile? I'm like, I'm not calling him a pedophile. I'm just saying the fact that he openly admitted to dating a 17-year-old when he was 21. Now, maybe people don't think that's too weird, but I think the fact that he openly fucking talked about it and was like proud of it, it's a bit interesting. I'm not going to make any accusations that would then like link based on links to certain books that let's move on. Movza Evloev. Yeah, fuck you, you boring ass cunt. He's not even that boring. I just don't like Movza, bro. Like, people can say you hate Dagestanis. Hey, he's not Dagestani. People in my comments keep telling me. He's English or the fuck the word is. English, I don't fucking know. Movza. We're back to 3 a.m. recording, boys. My last video I actually got out at a reasonable time, but now we're back to late night recording with Left Lane. So I don't know what I'm saying. I should probably not fucking say some of this stuff. Movza though, yeah, I don't know. I just don't like him. He deserves hate. Anyway, he's a bum. Like, he refused to fight Lopez when Lopez was calling him out for a rematch after he fought him the first time. And then as soon as Lopez beats Ortega ranked above him, brother, I tell you, you have to defend your honor and fight me on 4 weeks notice, brother. Salt Lake City. Like, fuck off. Go away. Now, he's going to beat Aljo, right? Which is annoying, because I want Aljo to win, because it'd be funny. But, like, this guy, it's the Cyril Gahn attitude of, like, no, this is not good matchup for me. I only fight Hapins and Kings. And then as soon as Aspinall wins in Tribal, yes, we must fight, stop ducking Tom Espinal, fight in Paris. Like, fuck you, bitch. Like, just entitlement. It's pissing me off. Anyway, let's move on, though, to the lightweight division. Now, I'm gonna act like, again, I haven't talked shit about Scamrock before, but again, lightweight's just full of fan favourites. So apart from, like, Paddy, I guess you could say, there aren't really that many guys that receive hate, to be honest, and the ones that do, which I'm about to talk about, is deserved. So Gamrot, I guess, I don't know, like, this dude had a fucking sick fight with Dan Hooker, which he arguably won, and it wasn't like a just Gamrot shooting for the legs for dear life. Like, he actually went out there and struck with Dan Hooker and rocked him. So, respect to Gamrot, you know, he had a fucking crotch sniff performance against RDA, and then he's like, nah, fuck that, I'm gonna have a scrap with Dan Hooker, and he did. So I respect that. So yeah, give some respect to Scamrot. He's not too bad. Let's move on though to someone who does deserve hate at 155. Michael Chandler. This dude is like climbing the ranks of the most delusional fighters. I need to do an updated delusional fighters or Cope tier list. I need to do an updated Cope tier list because this guy came out with the quote of the century saying, "I beat Charles Oliveira 9 out of 10 times. The math ain't mathin', buddy. You lost twice. Go back to fucking secondary school, go back to college and learn some fucking simple addition, buddy. Because that shit don't work. Like, it don't sit well with me. I don't know who fucking taught you your mathematics, but you need to fucking get a refund and learn the fucking basic fundamentals of maths over and over again, mate. Because I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Michael Chandler... Yeah, what's this guy saying? I beat him 9 out of 10 times. It's like the fucking Anthony Smith kind of logic. Like, I'm better than you. They know that, and that's why they get so upset when they say, like, no, you're just retarded. Cheats his ass off as well. Absolute fucking gremlin of a fucking cheat. Fish hooks, cage grabs, glove grabs, back of the head shots, eye pokes, the whole fucking lot. I actually respect the level of obnoxious fucking cheating that he somehow manages to get away with most of the time. Keith Peterson, fucking all nonsense, alcohol and cigarettes. Chandler, fuck you. I'm not gonna bring up the kids thing as well. That's weird too, but we can save that for another day. We could incorporate that into another video. But yeah, we know the deal with Chandler's kids. And if you were there for the 309 live stream, my sister randomly came on stream, and then chat was asking her random stuff. Chat asked, what's your thoughts on Michael Chandler adopting black kids? My sister has no idea about UFC. She's a casual. She randomly goes, yeah, he's doing it for publicity. That's my younger sister who knows nothing about UFC. That was her first reaction when chat told her that Michael Chandler was adopting black kids. So it says a fair bit, in my opinion. But anyway, we'll move on swiftly to the welterweight division. Welterweight, Belal Muhammad does not deserve that hate, and I have never spread hate towards this man ever in my life. I never said that, as Dricus du Plessis, the real African champion, would say. Find me a clip of me talking shit about Belal Muhammad, you know. I'm a big supporter of Belal. I remember the plains regularly. I remember the decision. I remember all of it. So Belal's, I'm a fan of his, you know. He is a fan, but he bought t-shirts of mine. I like Belal, you know. I've never said a bad word about him. And I think the hate this guy receives is just too much, bro. Like, honestly, I respect Belal immensely. I think he's a great person. I think he's a great fighter. I think that he's done nothing to warrant hate at all. He's a really entertaining fighter too. If you really just watch the outside foot battle and you understand and break down the technique of Belal Muhammad, he's a really, like, you should be able to appreciate his skills and his style, because again, and people, another thing they underestimate or they underrate is his power, because he's got hands like Canelo and he's got absolute fucking fists of steel, to be honest. So Belal Muhammad, I'm picking him to win by knockout, defending the belt 7 times and becoming the welterweight GOAT. Of course, I'm telling the truth. I'm not joking. Anyway, let's move on to the number. It is not a joke, as the Ghan laugh. Anyway, let's move on to someone who does deserve hate. Colby Covington, fuck this dude, I hate you. Genuinely, I've got no time for Colby anymore. He's a bitch. If he beats Buckley, fair play. But if he goes out there and starts calling for a fucking title shot or starts yapping his mouth again and bringing up the whole Trump thing, fucking sucking on his nuts, just can we collectively as a fan base just not allow this guy to speak ever? And if he does, just don't listen to him and don't buy into this, oh, what Colby said, oh. He's not funny. He's never been funny. He's fucking stupid and he's retarded, and his entire personality is fake, and it's based off just glazing Trump to try and get an audience because he's not relatable and no one naturally likes him as a person. Like, I could rant about Colby for 10 fucking minutes. I hate this guy. People saying, like, oh, but he was going to get cut and he had to just change, but you got to respect that, man. I'm like, no. He was boring as fuck. He had no redeeming qualities. So he's like, oh, what am I going to do? Let me just turn my entire personality into just fucking sucking off Donald Trump and just being a tard and doing budget chael and doing it terribly. And somehow that people managed to buy it. Like, Colby's he's the real villain of the division. Like, no, he's just a fucking dude that just chats shit because he's got nothing. He just puts on an act and writes his little fucking pre-written lines and then forgets that seventh layer hair. Hell, like, this guy is just a fucking cringe little cunt, to be honest. I'd whoop his ass. I'd knock him out. No. But I hate Colby, bro. Like, people just glaze. I think there's some Americans that just glaze him. They'll be like, bro, he's American patriot, man. He doesn't give a fuck about America that much. He just glazes anything that'll get him fucking attention and get him a fan base, because you guys are retarded and people don't clock that he clearly doesn't actually fucking believe in anything he's saying. You think this guy has any political fucking knowledge? Like, he's just watching some fucking podcasts and listening to see, before he goes out and talks at an event, he just listens to some fucking Elon Musk and just rehashes everything that all these fucking right-wing guys say. Again, not objecting to the message, but like, he's not the messenger. Like, can this guy just never talk again? I hate him. And he's just like, again, you beat fucking Masvidal, you're running your mouth, and then after the fucking Leon fight, you had the audacity to say it was your... I know, again, he's just taking the piss and he's being a tard, but like, if you're gonna do it and do the fake personality and shit, at least do it well. It's just cringe and it's see-through as fuck, and you're just like blatantly a tard. And everyone knows that you're not that much of a dickhead in person, which is like, you're making yourself come across as a dickhead, and it's just cringe. Like, just be a boring cunt and at least we'll respect you if you win fights. But like, I don't know, I just fucking can't stand Colby. He actually might be one of my least favourite fighters on the roster. Hope Buckley sleeps him. Anyway, let's move on though to the middleweight division. Mate, I never said that I was the first real African champ. You'll never find a clip of me saying that. I only said that I was the first fighter training out of Africa, breathe the African air, fighting out of Africa, and that's what I meant when I said real African champion. But I never said the words real African champion. You'll never find a clip of me saying that. Dricus du Plessis, I respect this guy, and I don't know what, I think a lot of people just hate him. Like, he's not my favourite fighter. I'm not going to come on here and like jump on the DDP train late and fucking glaze him and shit, but I don't know why he gets hate. Like, he's one of the most fun champions we have on the roster. He is down to fight anyone. He's down to fight Hamzat. He's saying he's now like actively calling for Hamzat over Strickland. He's doing the opposite of Marab, calling for the undefeated, dangerous contender, rather than calling for the guy who you already beat for a rematch, no matter how close or dominant the fight was, whatever. But GDP, I respect him, bro. He's finishing Whitaker, beating Strickland closely, whatever. This guy's actually fun as fuck, and he's a good fighter, and he's got trash talk too. Hey mate, are you going to bring the servants back with you to Africa? Like, why are you so angry? This guy is a professional instigator, and I respect it, because he's naturally like that. This is not an act. Dricus is just naturally, like, he's not a dickhead, but he's naturally just a little shithead. Like, he's just that guy. I imagine Dricus in high school, bro. Like, I should do a video, like, what would have UFC fighters been like in high school or something like that. Dricus would 100% be, like, the sporty guy, but he'd be, like, not, like, the class clown, but the guy who just kind of takes the piss, and all the teachers kind of like him, but then, like, a lot of the kids just don't like him, they find him really fucking annoying, and he just winds everyone up. Like, that would be Dricus, 100%. He's made 2 people fucking cry as a result of press conferences. Like, this guy's got goated trash talk. So, anyone who's, like, hating on Dricus, it's like, you can't hate on his fight style. I guess there's just the retards that'll call him racist because he said he'd be the first real African champion. Even though I never said that. You'll never find a clip of me saying that. But yeah, I think there's no real negatives about this guy. Like, there's nothing overly to hate. He's never done anything, never been accused of anything, never popped for PEDs. I love how people like say, oh, but Dricus is probably on PEDs. Look at his build. It's like, yeah, but he hasn't popped for PEDs. I'm just gonna get people be like, oh, but everyone's on roids. Okay, well then why is like Jones popping, and like why are Jones and Anderson Silva popping? Like, not even Silva that much, but like, why is Jones, one of the richest athletes in the sport behind like Conor and a few others, like he would have access to cheat, and like, if everyone's on him and not getting popped, then why is this guy getting popped when the UFC clearly want to push him as the GOAT of the sport? Like, I don't know, the Jones defenders and the PD deniers are the most retarded people ever, but in the same sentence, they'll be like, oh, but this guy's probably on roids even though he hasn't popped. Like, how about we call out the guys who have actually popped and not just speculate? Like, if they pop, then we'll change the conversation. But, like, I've actually seen people being like, oh, but Dricus is probably on roids. Like, what? Yeah, but he hasn't popped. He hasn't taken them as far as we're concerned. If he gets popped for roids, I'll come on here and I'll say, oh, Dricus, your fucking legacy's ruined, mate. I've had enough of you. But for now, I don't get why this guy gets hate. So I think Dricus is one of the best champions we've got right now. Anyway, let's move on to people that do deserve hate at middleweight. Now, Izzy is my first pick, but I also want to chuck in Brandon Allen. Because not that this guy gets like popular fan base hate, but I hate this guy, so I just wanted to put him in here. I just hate Brendan Allen. If you've been a viewer of the channel for a minute, if you tuned in while I was streaming at 3 a.m. Australia time or 4 a.m. Australia time watching Brendan Allen Nasser Dinamavov, you will know how much I was rooting for Brendan Allen's downfall. And he's about to fight Fluffy Hernandez again in a couple months, and he's going to fucking lose, and I'm going to be absolutely cheering for it. But yeah, I hate Allen, but Izzy's the main guy. He does deserve hate. People just hate on Izzy for no reason. Like, no. He's objectively not a good person. Like, okay, not everyone's perfect, yeah, but like, I love when people go in comments and be like, oh, you're saying you're perfect? I'm like, no, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Far from it. I've also never touched my dog's dick and fucking lied about, like, having cancer to try and gain sympathy and done all this shit. Like, Izzy's just objectively a fucking weirdo, and I'm not gonna even go down there like, oh, he watches anime. Like, who cares? You can fucking watch anime, you can do cringe little dances and shit. Like, the whole Pereira son thing, this guy's just a petty individual as well. Again, you can be petty, that's fine, but yeah, touched his dog's dick, clearly a fucking creep. I've heard stories behind the scenes from people, and I'm not even kidding, I'm not even gonna bring him up, but yeah, he's said some weird shit to people, he's said some questionable things. This is not fucking defamation. I'm not doing an Izzy exposed video. They're out there already. But yeah, I've heard stories from around the Vine. You know, I live in Australia. There's people that have interacted with Izzy that have told me some things. But anyway, I don't know. I just don't like him. I think he just comes across as a dickhead. I think he comes across as a bit fake, and switches up at times. And yeah, I think people reveal themselves. I don't think he's like a rotten to the core person, but I just don't think he's the best guy. So that's my opinion. And also, yeah, I just think it's kind of cringe, so I don't like him. But yeah, anyway, let's move on, though, to another division, light heavyweight. So again, Magomed Ankalaev, never hated on this guy ever. Never said a bad word about him. Always been a really big Magomed Ankalaev fan. No, in all seriousness, though, I literally just couldn't find someone for light heavyweight who receives hate that's undeserved. Like, let's go through it. Pereira, he only receives hate from the Izzy fans that are dumb and gay, or black, either way. Interchangeable. But like Jan, Rakic, Yuri, Ozdemir, Olberg, fucking Krylov, Khalil Roundtree, Smith. I guess you could say Anthony Smith maybe, but I think Smith's hate. It's not like hate, it's like, yeah, this guy's just retarded, which he is. But I don't think there's any light heavyweights that receive undeserved hate, so I guess I'll chuck in Ankalaev, I guess, the boring narrative and stuff. He's not that boring, he's alright. I don't know, boring, who cares about Ankalaev? I don't even have nothing to say, so it's fine. Anyway, someone else though at light heavyweight is Jamal Hill. Fuck this guy. I hate Jamal Hill. Again, just delusional cope. I think I've already done like my most hated fighters tier list. But you know how I've just chucked up these polls for like the best striker and stuff? I'm going to do a video saying like, I asked 1,000 UFC fans who the best striker was. I'll make a video out of that because I need content. And I could do that with pretty much every video. Like, I make my own video, my least favorite fighters, and then I just ask you guys who your least favorite fighters are. So I could do those kind of videos if you want. Put up like a form you guys can enter. We'll get like the top 32 most voted people and then run the tournament out of them, something like that. Let me know if you'd like to see that. But Jamal Hill, just cope, delusion, annoying, black. Anyway, all of the above, just everything to hate about him is there. Let's move on though to the heavyweight division. Heavyweight division, Gelton Almeida, the Fat Man Strangler. I don't think this guy deserves that much hate, bro. Like, people were celebrating on this man's downfall like it was the fucking fall of the Berlin Wall or some shit when this guy lost to Curtis Blades, bro. Like, what's this guy done? Like, Almeida, like, he went to a fucking decision with Derek Lewis, the Flukester Lewis, who just manages to make everyone look mid sometimes. But apart from that, this guy's subbing everyone inside 2 rounds and just not getting hit. So I actually like Almeida. I actually think he's one of the more fun heavyweights. And again, he might be on juice, very much so, but he's actually athletic at heavyweight, so we need to celebrate anyone. It's like body positivity. Like, we got to celebrate the people. It's reversed. We celebrate the in-shape people at heavyweight because all the fat fucks are killing the division. And fucking Rizvan Kunaev, unranked debuting heavyweight, is fighting Curtis Blades per sources. So that's going to be fucking interesting. Anyway, John Jones is the guy who deserves hate. You know why. Gay, wife beater, steroid cheat, ducking, all of the above. Can end the video there. That'll do it. Goodbye. Peace out. I don't know if I kept this video under 30 minutes. Hopefully I did. Anyway, like, subscribe, fucking vote on the polls and shit as well, for best striker and all that. And yeah, drop some other video ideas you guys want to see. If you like the idea of me doing these videos where I like do my own thing and then I ask you guys to make a video out of the results. That'd be cool. But anyway, peace out, guys. Bonjour, fucking arrivederci, buonanotte, bonne nuit, good night.